longer like, I'm just gonna be with people as friends. I'm not putting no labels. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just gonna live in the now. Whatever comes, comes, and whatever goes, goes. This is what was given to me. Because my expectations is what causes me pain. I noticed that my expectations was the root of my problem. And I need to learn how to exist, not only by myself in a space, with others in a space, without having possession or unhealthy attachment expectations from those people. And so, whatever come may come. I'm not putting no labels on it. I'm done with the tribe and the nation building. I'm done with all of that. All of that's a dub for me. You understand? I'm at a point where I'm like literally in submission, and I'm going through a major transformation right now. I'm at a point where I feel like I'm going to date many women. I'm going to be with many women. This is what I feel. I just feel like this is what the space that I'm in right now. This is not the universe's plan, but I'm saying this is where I'm at right now with my epiphany, right? I feel like I'm not going to ever have any personal relationship with one woman. I feel like I want to have many relationships with many women in different spaces and different times. I'm not going to be expecting any kind of monogamous or long relationships where we possess each other, where I have to, make somebody own somebody. I don't want to own anybody no more. I just want to honor whoever I'm with. This doesn't mean I don't want romance with one person at a time and experience things with people. But if it comes, it comes. And if it goes, it goes. There's no labels for me from now on. And like for me, it's like, I don't want any unhealthy attachments. You know what I mean? Because I realize when you're with somebody, you should accept that person for who they are. And that we get in relationships and accept people for who we need them to be in our minds. We be in our own mind, in our own relationship. And when inevitable that person is not that thing that we expected them to be, we are now hurt and we feel victimized. And I'm done with that. I'm done with it. I'm going to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. What comes, it comes, and what stays, it stays. Whether it's a relationship, fine. I will enjoy a relationship with somebody for the time that it lasts. And I will always keep a healthy detachment. So it allows me to let them go. As far as children go, I feel like children are a symbol of our bond. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a symbol of me and your bond in our relationship. It's like a trophy or something that is a symbol of our relationship and our bond. Doesn't mean that I own the child. When a child is with me, it's my responsibility. When a child is gone, I don't have no control over that. So I put up the serenity prayer. And, I'm no longer attaching myself to things that I have no control over. I am living in the now. I'm accepting change. This has been a challenge for me. I'm no longer in control. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know my morals and my principles will not be broken for anything. And
I don't know about you all, but seems to me like Nature Boy's going through it. And I think it stems from Velvet leaving. He is just truly brokenhearted and doesn't know what to do with himself, because he is all over the place right now. I mean, from one day to the next.
Also know that I don't know. And that's the thing. And so I'm in submission and total submission to the universe. I'm totally ready to die. When I say die, I mean transformation, because that's what death is, right? I want to give y'all a story. I want to tell you a story. Very vulnerable story. When I was locked up in the prison in Nicaragua, I got to a very depressed state. Not even a depressed state. More of a, I don't even want to say depressed because I wasn't depressed. I was a little upset that I was being held captive for no reason, right? And so I thought to free myself through hanging myself. Like I was really contemplating transitioning myself, like, you know, just hanging myself in the cell because number one, I didn't like men. I don't like to be captive or held captive or imprisoned at all. I'm even escaping the prison.
Well, nobody does.
My own mind as we speak. So I have a real big problem with prison, and so especially I ain't even do nothing. So I didn't know when I was getting out. But here's the moral of what I was talking about. I contemplated death. I started to really get to the point of thinking deeply about, you know, what am I here for? What is the attachments? You know what I'm saying? I've done everything. I'm good with life. I left my knowledge here. I did my work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit in this cell forever. You know, I'm not gonna just sit here. I'm not gonna let these people just hold me here forever. And I started to, you know, say I'm gonna release myself. I'm going to release myself from this existence. And so it wasn't like a depression. It was more like freeing myself. So that was the way I could get out the cell and get out of the jail and just, you know. And then something came to me. As I was contemplating death, the only thing that made me not, and I don't want to say kill because we cannot kill energy, what only make me not hang myself in that cell was the thought of my daughter, Eliana. And this is deep. This is so fucking deep, right? So my daughter, I heard her voice, and I seen her as a little girl. She had bolitas, and she had the little girl, and she was coming up with her little dress, and she was running all slow, and she was saying "daddy," and I just wanted to experience that before I went, man. I was like, wait, before I go, I want to see her grow up. I want to see her, you know, I want to see my baby. I want to see my daughter grow up, and I want to have that experience before I check out this motherfucker. I at least just want to see my baby girl say daddy and hold her, and, you know, and I just had this vision of her just running to me with her little dress on, and she just jumps up, and I just grabbed her, and I just hugged her, and we was running around with each other, and I just loved her so much, and I looked at her, and I was like crying and shit, and I was like looking at her, and she just so pretty in her face. She was grown, you know, and I was looking at her, and I was like, I love you so much. And that stopped me, because that was the only thing that stopped me from hanging myself, man, in that moment. And you know what?
Oh, you all call me a sucker if you want to, but I actually feel for him in this moment. I don't know if he means it, and I have my feelings about him, and you all do too, but I actually really feel bad for him in this moment. I know I'm going to catch it in the comment section, but I just feel for him right now.
And you know what? I get out of prison, and then she still gets taken from me. And then I knew that the universe was telling me, like, have no attachments, my nigga, and be ready for death at all times. Because had I died, I knew that would have made my transition fucked up. Excuse my tears. So my worst fears happened. And she was taken from me anyway. So I might as well had hung myself, but I didn't. And shortly after I got out, right? Shortly after I get up out of prison, and the universe probably knew, like, yo, let's get this nigga out of here before he come to the other side and shit and fuck up the whole universal plan. And then I get out, and the reason why I was living gets snatched from me. And I looked at it and I said, God damn, you're the only reason why I stayed alive, and you get snatched from me. And in that moment I realized, like, the universe saying, have no attachments. You have to prepare yourself to let go of the thing you love the most, right? Because when it's your time to go, and I know a lot of you don't think about death, so you're so full of life, you don't even consider that you could die at any moment, that you'll be ready to transition, and your heart will be light as a feather. And so this is what I've learned, that we have to not have attachments to grow. We have to be able to be in relationships with a healthy amount of detachment there that allows you to move forward if need be and grow. Nothing can stop you from your expansion of your own mind and growth. Anything that hinders you.
Well, if he is speaking in ever falling in love again and not being attached, we know that that's not realistic. Anytime you're in a relationship and you fall in love, no matter how much you tell yourself you're not going to become attached, that's not true. You will become attached. We all do. That's who we are by nature. So he might be telling himself that, but if, and he will, gets in another relationship, he will become attached to whoever he's with. That's just human nature.
Let's cut it off. And it's just been written all through text. This is something that must happen. So this is not a message for everyone. This is a message for those that it reaches. Prepare yourself to let go of what you love the most. That is what death is. Death is transformation and growth, and the releasing of...
He's talking about death an awful lot. It's, yeah, he's always talked about death, but he's really been on a death kick here lately. Hopefully this is something he just gets through and overcomes, and it's just the grieving process of losing Velvet, and that's all it is. But he's really been talking about it a lot.
Attachments. You came here with nothing, and you will leave with nothing. And here's the thing. The easier, this is what the universe is getting you to do, is everything is preparing you for death. Life is constantly preparing you for death. I'm going to tell you how. Death is nothing more than a transformation. If you could think about death, and you, in the moment you're thinking about...
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here because he's going to get me all depressed on his death kick. Yeah, I got more to say about this, and I think I'll come back with a whole nother segment, commentary, with, you know, a fresh mind, probably tomorrow. The family's here tonight. My dog's running in and out. He needs to go to the groomers. That's what you hear clicking on the floor, his little nails. But I think I'm just going to end it right here and start all over tomorrow and give my commentary on this a little bit deeper, dive in a little bit deeper. So, don't be afraid to hit that like button, y'all, please. It just helps with the algorithm of pushing my videos forward. You don't have to. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it does help, and I appreciate it. Also, please leave a comment, because I do love chatting with you all in the comments and hearing what you all have to think about this too. So, bye for now.